Good morning, fellow Gambians. Manlawat Pasamba Jau. And I just wanted to have a very quick conversation with my fellow comrades here in the Gambia, and in fact, fellow citizens. Let me just say that. And it has to do with the way forward. Of late, I know a lot of people have been really concerned about the possible re-emergence of the APRC party. And yesterday or the day before, there was a leaked audio of, I think, Mr. Sen. I think he's from Banjul Central or somewhere, plotting their possible comeback. And to me, I find it really interesting that Gambians are so scared of the APRC, thinking that they can definitely come back. That is nonsense. If the APRC comes back as a powerful party, it is because we let it to be. And we must not let that happen, because the facts are very clear that there cannot be an other APRC dominant party in that country. The National Assembly elections are coming. And I would just join this with this whole notion. I know some people in the diaspora are also not very happy with how things are going with the Barrow administration. Some believe that things are not going very slow, very fast. Some also believe that that maybe they are not too committed to ensuring that there is justice for the Gambians who've been abused for so long. And there is a solution to that problem. Listen, we are a very powerful constituency, the diaspora, extremely powerful. We have the knowledge, we have the resources, we have the commitment, and we have the love for country. A love for country that is unmatched and unprecedented. Because you cannot underestimate how much we love our country. And this is why, in spite of being like thousands of miles away, we are so glued to our country, ready to do everything for our country, die for our country, spend our resources for our country, to liberate our country. So with that, we were able to dislodge Yaya Jammeh from power. We were able to make Yaya Jammeh uncomfortable as president of that country. And it was because of our dollars and our pounds, and in partnership with our friends and comrades and our fellow citizens on the ground, we were able to get him out. So if we can get Yaya Jammeh out of power with all the might that he had, why should a Mr. Sen or whatever you call them be problems for us? What I want to urge all those who are interested in seeing a democratic Gambia, and all those who are not very happy with how things are working, is let's organize ourselves. Let's start it this way. If you live in Basse, and you believe that the APRC candidate in Basse, or the National Assembly member of the APRC in Basse, is not doing the work that is expected, organize yourselves. Identify somebody in Basse. Sponsor that candidate. Help him sell his message or her message to the people in Basse. And that person would definitely defeat whoever is before him. Then you will have a candidate in the National Assembly who would speak your language, who would defend your interest, who would speak for the people of Basse. If you live in Serakunda, you have Halifa Sallah who is running. If you believe seriously that Halifa Sallah can be a very good candidate for you in Serakunda, sponsor him, support him, help him sell his message, and there is no APRC candidate who can stand before him. If you're from Bakau, look for a very dynamic young man, young woman, or Gambian, and support that person. Banjul South, you've seen Tuma Njai who would come out to say, you know what, I want to run, I'm going to run. Support her. Sponsor her. If you live in Banjul Central, do the same. If you live in Birkama, yes, Tukulorsi, do the same. We can organize ourselves in every nook and corner of that country. And one thing that must be that we must be mindful of, almost all the constituencies in the Gambia, Yaya Jammeh lost. If you put the opposition votes together, he lost. So meaning that we have the momentum on our side. And Gambians have finally opened their eyes to the realities that the APRC was a very bad government. And the Gambian people, especially the young ones, do not settle for a candidate coming to you and giving you what? $5 is here, $5 here, or buying you soccer jerseys or soccer football, like a football, soccer balls or whatever. No. This is not the era of somebody just giving you trans to Abdullah Reparte Punga Sanil Kokarta. This is the era of electing somebody who would do the work for you to make sure that your interest is protected and promoted and advanced in that National Assembly. So let's not be here complaining. We have a solution to our problems. We all know people who are dynamic in every nook and distinct corner of that country. Support them. And people must also take the responsibility of running for the National Assembly. It is the most important institution in that country, as far as I'm concerned. Because it is one institution that can put check on the national, on the executive, and it is also the institution that will make sure that good laws are passed in the National Assembly so that the rights of the Gambians will be protected. If you're from Farafenye, Alaji Sow, talk to like-minded people. Sponsor somebody in Farafenye. Let all the candidates come. Vet them. Look for one that you know will address your interests and support that candidate. Just one constituency, do the same thing. Whosoever wants to run should be able to tell the people why they are running and what they would offer to the Gambian people. And if you're satisfied with that, then sponsor that person. If you do that, we'll be able to dislodge the APRC without engaging in anything that is undemocratic. Banning them and stopping their meetings is nothing but empowering them. Because if you do that, then they would be crying for help, and the international community would listen to them. The genuine Gambians would listen to them, because what we will be seeing is that their rights are being abrogated. You don't have to violate their rights. All you have to do is challenge them. What has the APRC to offer to the Gambian people? Nothing. What have they offered us for 22 years? Nothing. What has that National Assembly ever done that is in the interest of the Gambian people? Nothing. We have qualified people. We have the Kemes and Jamens of the world who have done great things in the National Assembly. We have Samba Jallo of the NRP who is in the National Assembly, who is doing great things in the National Assembly. We've had the Halifa Salehs in the National Assembly who've done great things. We've had the CDI Jatas of the world in the National Assembly who've done the same thing. Vote for people like that. Sponsor people like that. We cannot sit here and just start crying, oh, they're not listening to us. Do something about it. And the best way to do something about it is to participate in the process. Participating in the process does not mean that you are running yourself. No, but you can sponsor people who can run. People who will do what is in the interest of the Gambian people. And this will give us the democracy that we need. This will give Barrow and his administration a National Assembly that can be an ally, but one also that can be a check to it so that there will be no excesses or abuse of power. Let's not get angry and start just throwing temper tantrums. We can change our situation. Voting Jammeh out was just one thing. Voting a very viable National Assembly is another thing. We now have a judiciary that is headed, in the Supreme Court Justice, the Chief Justice of the Gambia, by a very dignified guy, a man of integrity. A man who is qualified, a man who respects the laws and understands it. We have a Minister of Justice who has had a track record of fighting for human rights. So meaning we are developing a judiciary system that is very dynamic. What is left is to develop and also vote in a National Assembly that will be equally dynamic. And when we go through that, let's also build strong civil society groups in that country, whether it is Duga in the Gambia, whether it is other civil society groups in the Gambia. Listen, we are powerful Gambians, young Gambians in the Gambia. You took it upon yourself to defend the votes of December 2nd, December 1st, December 2nd, by ensuring the verdict of the people was respected and defended. You didn't have an army to do it. You didn't ask for Barrow's permission to do it. You didn't ask for the coalition's permission to do it. You were not scared of Yahya Jammeh to do it. What you did is you by merely saying that the Gambia has decided, printing t-shirts and distributing them, putting up billboards, you were able to effectively galvanize a country, awaken the sensibilities of a people, and in the process defended the will of the Gambian people, the votes of the Gambian people. And what we have today is as a result, partly, of that work that was taken up by few Gambians, that has since spread like wildfire in all corners of the world. Everybody who talks about the Gambia would associate it with the Gambia has decided. So please, Gambians, let's not sit here and wallow in pity as if we were helpless. We can solve our problem. I don't care about the APRC. I'm not scared of the APRC because the APRC, as far as I'm concerned, is a dead criminal gang. And if we are organized as a people, we would be able to stop or replace the APRC with a more dynamic National Assembly, one whose work would be in the interest of the greater good of all Gambians. A National Assembly that would not commit treason by unconstitutionally declaring a state of emergency in the interest of a president. The more you complain about the APRC and whine about them, the more you give them, you mystify them. The APRC is dead. It's a criminal enterprise. And I appeal to my friend to do justice by opening the radio and TV to the victims of the Gambia to talk about their plight so that Gambians would come face to face with Jammeh's dictatorship. And as we look forward to celebrating our independence, I was very happy this morning when I learned that some prisoners have been pardoned by President Barrow. And one of those prisoners is my Ibu Cham, who was sentenced to 14.5 years in jail of Yahya Jammeh. So let's continue the work. And I hope that President Barrow will continue on the path of ensuring that Gambian rights are respected and the Mile 2 prisons is emptied. I believe it should be emptied. And all those whose crimes were political or were not serious in nature should be released. Gambians should be given a new start. And those whose crimes are very vicious should be given an opportunity of a review. They should review those trials to determine whether they had received free trials. If not, they should be given an opportunity to have new trials or be freed. Let's give Gambia a new beginning by freeing those whose lives have been destroyed by Yahya Jammeh. So, my Ibu Cham, I wish you well and hope that you would utilize this opportunity by becoming a very bona fide citizen of that country, as everybody else who is pardoned. And I want to thank President Barrow and his government. I want to thank my friend Batambedu and my comrade Maifati for the work that they are doing in ensuring that there is justice in that country. With that, happy independence, and let's take our country back. Jammeh is dead to us. The APRC should also be dead to us. But we must not kill them through undemocratic means, but we must kill them democratically by defeating them, just like we did Jammeh on December 1st, 2016. With that, forward to a new Gambia. We are the people that Gambia have been waiting for to change it, and we are capable of changing it. So thank you all so very much. Let's get to work. Let's sponsor these candidates. Let's finance these candidates. National Assembly elections are not too expensive. If we organize ourselves based on where we live, we should be able to do the work that is needed to ensure that we have a National Assembly one that would be very dynamic. With that, thank you all so very much. Keep hope alive.